Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I wanted to put this out before 2015 as sort of like a kickstart for the new year. Earlier this year, I did something called the hair strike, and if you check out hashtag hairstrike 2014, you can see pictures. And just to give you a general idea, I felt like through Instagram and social media, is this recording? Yes, it is. Sometimes we see so many pictures of, girls with like beautiful hair, and I know for me, like my pictures, I know seeing other girls with curly hair is inspiring, because I mean, curly hair has not been it for a long time. I'm sure a lot of girls are like me, where when you were growing up, you either didn't know what to do with your hair, or you straightened it. It just wasn't really as accepted as it is now. And so now we're all excited and we're embracing it, and we feel good about it, and we like to inspire each other, blah blah blah. But I was worried that girls that were following me, and I was thinking about like impressionable girls, maybe younger girls, because I'd see certain comments and I would think they'd say things like, I wish my hair was like yours, how do I get my hair to look like that? Just certain words that made me think that maybe they didn't like what they had themselves. And I just wanted to make sure there was a message that even though I could post these selfies of my hair all day long, I'm not a person that is like obsessed with my hair to the point that I feel like I am my hair and it represents me as a being. I know some people might feel like that, but that's definitely not the message I try to portray. So I did this thing called the hair strike, where I honestly made it up on the spot. Like within a minute, I said, I'm just gonna do this. And if anyone wanted to join, basically wearing your hair back in a bun, just not focusing on your hair. So just not putting all that time and effort into it, because I know there's girls out there who will be late for important events, or get really upset over their hair to the point that it's unhealthy. Like we don't get as upset about our toenails or other things that we put into our hair. And I understand our hair signifies a lot, but at the same time, it should not be your very being, and not all your confidence should be stored in your hair. And so I just wanted to get that point out, that I can put my hair back in a bun, not pay attention to it, go on about my life, and still feel okay. And so I posted that as the hair strike idea, and a lot of girls joined in, and it was kind of fun to see how many girls felt the same, where it's just like, I need a break. Like it's really taking up so much time of my life. And I mean, I had friends that were just saying, I never really noticed my face because people always just look at my hair. And it was also about the fact that, like, for me, I'm just being real, I know if I post a picture close up of my hair on Instagram, it's gonna get a certain amount of likes. Whereas if I post something else, it may not. It's just the reality of the type of people that follow me and the interest. I get that. And so I wanted to put out the message that I'm gonna be okay if I don't get a certain amount of likes, and you should be too. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just posting stuff for likes to feel good all the time. It's more about to inspire people. And I just wanted to put out the message that if you don't, how do I say this? You're gonna be okay without all that kind of aesthetic love that you get all the time, where you can go on about your life, and not everybody might be focusing on your hair, complimenting your hair, and you're still gonna feel good about yourself. And that was the whole message behind the hair strike. And I got so many beautiful stories about women that lost their hair during cancer treatments, and just the whole idea of like they felt like their hair was so much a part of them, and then when they lost their hair, they realized there was so much more than that. And that was kind of the message I wanted to give with the whole hair strike movement. Anyways, So now I have another idea that I'd like to share with you. Sometimes I don't even know what it is. I'm just always just like thinking and thinking and thinking, analyzing things. And I just like, I feel upset with myself for letting people that I don't even know or don't even know me have a bearing on what I want to post. It's so exhausting, like the burden of that, and it's all like within your own brain. And I felt like I had to share that, so I did a post about it, and I was just saying like, if I want to post a selfie, you know, it's sometimes I think to myself, oh, there's a certain ratio, like I can't post, like if I was to post 3 selfies in a row, I would look like I'm conceited. This is what I'm thinking, right? So I can't do that. I gotta break it up with like a quote or something. This is the biggest bunch of rubbish, because I know for a fact I am not conceited. And people that know me know I'm not conceited. So why do I care about people that do not even know me? And this is my whole thing. It's like this whole burden you put on yourself. It's ridiculous. And also, like, the way that we insult ourselves, like, say you feel like you look really, really good and you want to post a photo, blah, blah, blah. Like, as women, we do this all the time, because I've talked to my girlfriends, they do the same thing. It's like, we got to make a joke about ourselves in the caption, because we don't want to look like, you know, we think we look good. Even if we do think we look good, but, you know, then we're conceited. Do you know what I'm talking about? I feel like I can't be the only one thinking this. I remember one day I posted a photo. I had a pimple on my face. I don't care about having a pimple on my face. I'm not going to go Photoshop a pimple off my face. Like, I don't do that. But then I thought, are people going to think that it's a beauty mark and I moved the beauty mark on my face and then that's weird? Listen, I bet you nobody even noticed, but this is what goes on in my brain. You can go see on my Instagram, the photo's still on there. I made some joke like, pimple moonlighting as a beauty mark. I'm sure nobody even noticed, but this is the stupidness we think of in our brain, because there's so many people out there that tear people down, especially when you put yourself out there in like a kind of, you know, a public thing, when you're on Instagram or sorry, on YouTube, and you know, you're trying to be an influencer in some way. People kind of drag you down, and so I think sometimes we try to pick at ourselves before someone else can, and it's wrong. We shouldn't be doing that to ourselves. And so this is what kind of inspired my whole new focus for next year, which is mental freedom. So I'm going to go with the hashtag Free Your Mind 2015. And so if you want to join in, if you want to share anything at all, just add the hashtag so we can see it, and you know, maybe we can share our thoughts together, because I definitely received private messages from you guys. And even if you check out my post, I have like a freedom post on my Instagram at Sharmzy. If you read some of the comments, like everyone was spot on with what I'm trying to do with this. Like, we have to be nicer to ourselves because we deserve it. I've been working on a couple projects they're gonna take a while to come out, and the way I work is I like to keep stuff to myself, because I always feel like you put stuff out there too early, things in the universe might, you know, you just never know if it will happen, and I like to protect my projects. That's just how I am. The same way you should protect your dreams, I kind of feel like you should do that. So anyways, I've been working on a couple things, and recently I noticed someone came out with something that in my eyes was similar to my vision for a project I'm working on. Now, I literally thought, I was like upset, thinking to myself, well, now I can't do what I want to do because people are going to think I'm copying. And I'm just like, everything I put into this project, I was actually considering throwing that away and thinking of something new, because I'm so afraid of strangers saying, well, I'm ripping this idea from so-and-so. And this is the burden, you know, like that I think a lot of us deal with. And like I mentioned, poetry. Like, nobody even knows that I write stuff. There's so much stuff that I don't share with you guys, and it's like there's two burdens I deal with. One is that I'm so afraid of, are people gonna think I'm not like I'm like jumping on a bandwagon or something like that, when really it's just like I've always had this, I just haven't shared it because I'm afraid of that, you know? And then there's another part of me is like I hold stuff back because of fears. And this is another thing about the whole free your mind thing. Sometimes we don't share what we are so talented at, our gifts, because we are just afraid that if they reach a certain level, we might be faced with fears that, you know, we aren't ready to deal with. For me, for example, I hate public speaking. And I mean, I'm talking in a camera right now. I feel like I'm talking to myself, and that's cool. And so sometimes I find like I don't talk that much to you guys because I feel like if they get inspired too much, somebody might want me to speak, and I'm terrified. Like, that stuff scares me. And I have had opportunities where people have approached me to speak, and I come up with excuses sometimes, I can't lie, because I'm just not comfortable. Like, it's a big fear of mine, which is so ridiculous, but we all have things that, you know, it's like a fear that we deal with, right? Or we don't deal with, which is bad. But yeah, it's like we hold ourselves back just by all this sort of thinking and overthinking in our brains, and we really need to just break free of that. And I know, again, like, I'm sure there's people out there that feel the same way, and so hopefully we can just inspire each other with this. One of the things that I definitely deal with is integrity versus self-confidence. And one of the girls that commented on my photo on Instagram about it, she nailed it. Like, that's exactly something I deal with. And again, I know it sounds silly just talking about Instagram, but I mean, that's where I started talking about it, and that's where it came to my mind for this whole thing. Like, you have no idea how much thought I have to put into before posting like a photo in a swimsuit, like on a beach. It's ridiculous sometimes, because I mean, like, if I'm in a costume for carnival, I don't think twice, which is like, you're wearing the same thing. But if I was in a swimsuit, like, I have to put some serious thought as to whether I post it. And it's not for the reasons that you're thinking. Like, sometimes I think people think with my posts, it's like, oh, I don't think I look good enough, blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. Like, I am totally one of those people that accept what I have, kind of thing. Like, I don't have the biggest chest, I don't care, that's fine. Whatever else it is, I don't care. Like, it's nothing like that. It's more so I worry about people thinking, oh, she thinks she looks good. Is that not the most ridiculous thing? Or, oh, she's like showing off. That's the type of thing that goes in my head all the time, and it's so annoying. Like, I bother myself with it. And like, sometimes you just want to post a picture in a swimsuit on the beach. Like, I shouldn't have to think so hard about these things, but I do. And that's just, again, with this whole issue of like, we gotta break out of that stupidness. Like, it's so stupid. You become prisoner to yourself in a way. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a little thinking, write down some ideas for myself, how I can start to just break down that, you know, wall of judgment that I create within my own head, that critic within my own head. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I guess I'll start posting stuff maybe on my Instagram, and I'll use the hashtag where I feel fit, and you should as well, so we can all join in. And perhaps I will start talking more in videos about stuff that I'm interested in, because honestly, I am interested in a lot more than just hair and fashion. It's just that whole thing of, I also struggle with being like a shy girl slash introvert, and so even though I have so much to say that I can just write, to actually verbally express it is a bit of a challenge sometimes, because I don't even know. I guess I get too comfortable sometimes. And I love to quote that Lisa Price from Carol's Daughter wrote on my photo. She said, we have to learn to be comfortable in the discomfort, something like that. You can go check it out. And I love that, and that's something that I'm going to definitely keep in mind for this whole movement and theme for 2015. Yeah, I definitely love having a theme for the year, so that's my whole thing. And I will be doing a vision board for next year. I like to start every year with one, so I will be doing that soon. So that's about it. I don't want to ramble too long here. I guess I'll go write the poem really quick and finish off with that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope that we will join this discussion together of freeing our minds. Okay? Bye. Free your mind. How can I play master and slave when I'm supposed to love myself? Headaches on end, victim to my thoughts. I can't sleep because I'm consumed by my emotional wealth. So self-conscious. What are you thinking? What will they think if, and who is this character I want to play? The social media game of charades has no winner because there's no guessing, just assumptions and a war of love and hate. I'm tired of the filters and false perfection and the hashtags to validate our social existence. We stare at screens as though they are mirrors and compare strangers to ourselves, playing into an affair even though our minds are resistant. It's time to ignore the judgment and share what we want to share without watching the likes accumulate. Time to idolize ourselves and trust our guts and our gifts, breaking free from our own judgment and hate. No more critics in my head keeping me up at night. No more self-ridicule picking at my brain. I will move forward with mental freedom and learn to be myself. Miss Sharmzy, aka Charmaine.